guess I didn't finish. I didn't really write down notes for the last two.
Yeah, that's all right. I think they're
fresh
current
enough.
enough. We can talk about it.
They're fresh enough in my mind. Oh my God, I love these episodes. These are my favorite.
I know, these are so fun. I'll cut
You
it.
ruined it.
I'll cut it.
How are you going to cut it?
Software?
Yeah, okay. All right, Soup. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SMSoup, the #1 podcast with soup in the name, but not on the brain. This is...
Shelby.
And I'm Spencer. And together we're here to take you on a journey through life's biggest questions like, waiter, how is the soup made? And is Gladiator the best movie, the best picture from 2000?
Is it?
We'll get into it, but first, Shelby, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I mean, you say but first. I feel like we don't even have time. We don't even have time.
Really? I kind of feel like we do.
You think? All right.
No, I mean, if you want to get right into
I'm
it,
good.
we can get into it.
I'm doing good.
I mean,
I'm doing good.
I wasn't asking for another story about a dumb table.
Well, that dumb table is now behind us.
And it looks really good.
It looks so nice. Could probably use a light sanding still.
You did that.
But it looks nice.
You did this.
And there's sunflowers on it.
Oh, it's gritty.
Yeah, it needs a light sanding.
Oh, it's so gritty.
And did something come up on your hand?
No.
Oh. Yeah, but I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good.
I'm excited to see how Milady and Grogu decide to fuck up this episode.
Oh, they'll find a way. Don't you worry.
I guess we should get into it.
Yeah.
It is my favorite type of episode. It is a movie club episode.
Hell yeah, it is.
This week, this month, this round is the year 2000.
Yes.
So the nominees were Gladiator, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Erin Brockovich, Chocolat, and Traffic.
Yeah.
Those were the nominees for the year 2000. Gladiator was the winner.
Yeah.
And yeah, let me real quick. I just want to make sure I have pulled up the overall award show so that we can like go through some of those other awards at the end.
Sure. I'm not gonna lie. Just in case you didn't know, this is now our third year doing this. Third, like, randomly selected year we've done, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This one was
No, this is our this is our fourth.
Sorry, fourth.
1979, 1983,
2000,
2010, and then 2000.
Okay. So our fourth year, and just across the board, we said we were having a hard time deciding. This is going to sound really mean, but this might have been the most mid-year yet. And we had some pretty strong feelings about, what was it? 1983?
1983 like had
was Terms of Endearment.
Yeah.
Which we felt was so much better than everything else that we were having a hard time caring about anything else.
Right. And then 1979 we kind of felt like was like all fine. Like that one's probably the closest to this year that we just watched.
Yeah. So we were just shocked. We were actually, it was just kind of mean. We were literally Googling what other movies came out in the year 2000 because we were like, these were the nominees?
Yeah, especially for the year 2000.
These were the nominees?
Which we saw Castaway came out in 2000. And that
shocked that's not on the nomination list. But yeah, so just to put that out front, we kind of felt mid about the year as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a tough year. I will say that there's something very special to me about 2000 aesthetic.
Yes.
When it comes to film.
Agreed.
The movies, you know, I don't know when it starts and I don't know when it ends, but like 2000 seems to be this perfect moment in filmmaking where I don't really have a way to describe it other than the movies just look a certain way. And you start watching it and you go, this is a movie from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, I love the look of it. It's not me trying to say like a bad thing or anything like that.
I agree.
So I will say that was one win
Mm-hmm.
from watching movies this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Should we just start in the order we watched them?
but yeah, let's start in the order we watched them. So we started with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yes. Um, biggest note. Biggest note about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, would it be interesting to see this movie today?
Mm-hmm.
Because wow, were they struggling with hiding the lines. What would those be? Like, not zip lines,
Yeah.
but whatever. Like
Mm-hmm.
what suspends people in air. Wow. I mean, props to them
Mm-hmm.
if you think about it. Like that it's not it hurts it that I watched it in the year 2024.
Yeah.
It looks like they worked their
The
asses off to cover those lines, and they kind of did.
the run floating does not hold up.
Oh my god.
Um.
It's actually comical. Like, and what's really funny is because the movie's like really quiet. Like there's not really like a massive soundtrack in the background.
Mm-mm.
And so there's like these really dramatic run scenes that, again, if it was being shot today and if it was like a super Americanized film, it would 1000% have like a beating like soundtrack in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So watching people really weirdly airwalk and it's silent is so uncomfortable that it
Yeah.
like kind of makes you awkward laugh. That is probably like my biggest note about the whole thing. It's just that
Yeah.
looks insane, but that's just like what they had available to them. So that's really not like a fair knock against them.
One thing that does hold up,
Yeah.
is the fight choreography. All of the
Yeah.
fighting in the movie is really like cool, really well done.
Yeah.
Um, there's like this, like, you know, um, ancient, sort of like sword fighting type style to it, but yet there's also like this like element of like magic that some people can like
Yeah.
have. Um, and they do a really nice job with that, especially without leaning too much into any sort of like special effects or anything like that
Yes,
for the
100%.
movie. Like,
Yeah.
because I think that's a fair call out for a lot of movies that come out around this time, the late 90s. Probably all of the 90s to like 2000 through 2010, right? Like you see movies lean in on like the CGI and like, oh wow, look how we can like make stuff look real. And then they ultimately make it look terrible because it doesn't
Yeah.
hold up.
Right.
At the time you might be going like, wow, but like watch it 20 years on. The movie still holds up for the most
Yes,
part.
I would totally
like
agree.
outside of like the kind of awkward running
Yeah.
through the air.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can envision how that would be done, nowadays, and it wouldn't look quite as awkward.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
But yeah, the movie, like the overall story is like pretty good.
I would agree.
Like
Yeah.
it's like it's a yeah, it's like,
I don't want to like just chalk it up to like it's a classic samurai movie. It's
yeah,
not.
not quite. But you do have like this whole like legendary hero,
Yeah.
legendary weapon type aspect. You got the
Someone of this like chosen one.
prodigy who
yeah,
is like
prodigy energy.
teetering.
Yeah.
They're on like neutral ground. You're trying to pull them to the good side, but they're getting pulled by the bad side, sort
Yeah.
of deal. Yeah, it's interesting. And then there's like the redeeming aspect. I think the overall like pacing of the movie is like a little whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
It definitely like
That could also just be like a style thing though.
definitely
like,
doesn't
I
have
don't
the
think
best flow in my opinion, but yeah,
Yeah.
you might be right.
Because it's not like we watch like the most, I will be honest, I don't know like who directed this or who did any of that. So it's like, did it have like all Asian, directors and producers that like would have given it more influence in how it's shot over if it would have been all American, directors, cast, things like that. Like, so I don't really want to like commentate on that because I just don't know.
I think the movie, I mean, the whole movie is in Chinese.
If like flip flops.
No,
Really?
there's no English. It's all subtitled.
Oh, okay. Well, then that, yeah.
So
I don't
I'm
know
pretty
why
sure
I thought at points there was English.
it's all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like,
I'm probably just misremembering.
yeah.
Okay. Well then, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I don't think there's any English at any point.
Why did I think there was? Well, then that probably proves even further. There might just be pacing things that like just aren't how we're used to watching movies.
It's also a movie from 2000.
Right.
Like, think about all these
Oh my god,
movies.
yeah. Like there's other movies I'm gonna be like, the pacing in this was fucking annoying.
All 5 of these I don't think had like the best overall structure behind the film.
Which just says like obviously how movies were shot at the time.
Exactly. I think that's it. I think that's what it comes down to.
No, you're right.
But overall it's like it's solid, right?
It
like
is.
it's a movie that I would say that's a movie that I would say is like worth a watch.
Yeah.
Especially because again, it does hold up to a degree.
I would agree. Next movie we watched was Gladiator.
Gladiator,
the winner of Best Picture from the year 2000. Gladiator. It was good. It was good. No, I liked it. What's really funny is I kept confusing Gladiator and 300 because I was like, I cannot wait for a good war movie. And Spencer's like, you're about to be so disappointed. Yeah. You're talking about 300.
Like, it's not war, right? Like, you know what a gladiator is, right?
And I was like, no.
You're like, no. I was like, they kind of, I mean, they fight.
Yeah,
There's
but
fighting.
It's not war. Yeah.
Not really war.
So that was on me.
They talk about war in like the first 10 minutes of the movie, and that's it.
Right. The war ends.
Yeah.
And then life goes on. Yeah, I thought this was good. I feel so mid about like this whole year. It was enjoyable. I'd say the most disappointing thing, which again is because I watched it in 2024 and not 2000. The line that everyone quotes, "Are you not entertained?" Such a letdown. It's been built up for the past 20 years. I thought it was going to be this momentous moment in the movie.
It's within like the first 30 minutes of the movie, maybe.
And then we move on and we're kind of like, all right.
He chucks a sword.
Yeah.
Or javelin or whatever and then says, "Are you not entertained?"
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. It does feel like because it's like the quoted line.
I think just because people built it up. That's not on the movie.
Yeah,
just
but like, I don't know. We go back and watch Sixth Sense and the kid says, "I see dead people."
Yeah,
like that's also probably not going to live up
You don't think so? You don't think it's going
to
hit?
No, probably not. Because he's going to say it within the first 25 minutes and you're going to be like, "Oh, that's it."
You're like, wow, why is everyone so confused about this movie?
Also, Bruce Willis is very clearly dead the entire time.
But yeah, so that was really funny to me. That was like, oh, that's it. We just moved on from that.
But again, this movie, even more so than Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, is just solid. It's just all around built well.
I agree.
It's got good bones. It's got good structure.
Yeah.
Like just about all of it is like, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's good.
It's got a good amount of revenge and secrecy but like fighting the good fight and like it's got a really good mix of everything, I would say, especially without being a war movie, because plenty of people are probably sick of war movies.
Yeah. So
this is almost like a good alternative to that.
Yeah.
I just saw Grogu walk on camera.
Oh.
Sorry, that's why I just broke. So yeah, like I would actually say like I feel like most people would like Gladiator, especially people who are like, I don't really like war movies. These two, I swear to God, these two crazy kids. Yeah, it was really solid. I can see, obviously we'll do a roundup, but like the 5 movies that we have, I can see why Gladiator won. It's like, it is a good movie. Like to me, it probably holds up the best. I think there's one other movie that I feel only like that strong about, in terms of like story and rewatching and things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm by no means saying that Best Picture needs to be a crowd pleaser, but it's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Like Gladiator's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah. And I think like the other thing that like really holds up for it is that like Russell Crowe gives a good performance.
Yes.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes.
Kind of steals the show.
He was actually mind blowing in
like
that
he was
movie.
really good in like the role that he played, which is this like whiny little turd of a
really evil,
angry, just like dictator. Ruler.
He was actually incredible. Like I
really
was mind blown by him. Like every time he was on screen, I was like, ew, like I
you
had the worst
like,
feeling.
Yeah, your skin crawls a little bit.
But like it was such a good like, wow, you were playing an evil guy.
Performance was
so well.
fantastic. Like I know without even looking at the other awards, like can almost guarantee that like Russell Crowe We'll get to it, but I can almost guarantee Russell Crowe was at least nominated for Best Performance.
Yeah.
He probably won
I
it.
hope Joaquin Phoenix was Best Supporting.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
and did he win Best Supporting? Because,
Right.
like, I think his performance in a supporting role was, in a way, better than what Russell...
I would say so.
And also, I think it's just kind of like Russell Crowe's just playing Russell Crowe in a
Yeah.
lot of ways.
We
Where
were
it's like,
having that conversation,
you
yeah.
expect this kind of performance from him. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, Joaquin, I don't know. For whatever reason, it caught me off guard.
Yeah, I agree. It just felt really impressive watching it. Grogu. Do not. So, okay.
I can't stand it.
Third movie. Anything else about Gladiator?
No, by all means, start talking about traffic.
Oh, God. What to say about Traffic? This is the movie I disliked the most. Coming right out of the bat. Traffic, I'm going to read because everyone I've said this movie to has never heard of this movie. So just really quick, according to its quick synopsis, an exploration of the United States of America's war on drugs from multiple perspectives. For the new head of the Office of National Drug Control Policy, the war becomes personal. Basically, when he finds out his daughter is using various drugs. It specifies cocaine. Anyway, so it's very much like war on drugs. Oh my God, Mexico's evil. Oh my God, what are we going to do? This is the thing that the government is focusing on, hyperfixating on, that the public is worried about. Of course, it immediately shows like the government stance on it, and then it immediately shows a bunch of white teenagers doing it, and like it's cool. It's cool to do it. All the like rich white kids know where to go to get drugs and blah 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 blah. Which what's his name from that 70s show is in it, and that's hysterical. Seeing him be like kind of the reverse of what he is in that 70s show, which is just like he's like, fuck you, man. It's like totally not what he is. But yeah, this movie drove me insane. This movie really bothered me. Multiple accounts. Where to even start? One, there's no traffic. There's no traffic.
Yeah, I
What's
guess like
the name?
the gist is trafficking drugs,
but
like
it really doesn't focus on that at all.
Does not.
It doesn't focus on that at all. That is such a like backstory to what's going on.
Like it's like layers, right?
Yeah.
Like you're like the drugs are trafficked
Right.
into the country,
right,
and
over the
then
border. But
these white teenagers do them.
Yeah. But like we're either focusing on the white teenagers or we're focusing on Mexico. At no point are we really focused on the border.
Yeah.
In fact, we just keep showing B-roll of people crossing it.
Right.
That's it. And like if that's supposed to be the underlying traffic, it just like it just didn't feel like it had purpose in being named traffic.
Right.
Which was really annoying.
I mean, thank God Michael Douglas, Ant-Man, old Ant-Man.
Yeah.
You know. Thank God he was there to save the day. Like it's the thing that I think bothers me the most about this movie is that it's so fucking mid.
Yeah.
For an amazing cast.
Yes.
You've got Don Cheadle, Benicio del Toro, Michael Douglas, Luis Guzman, Dennis Quaid, Catherine Zeta-Jones. It's a really, really solid cast.
It's a great cast.
And I don't know if that's just like a retroactively good cast,
right.
but like that's such a good cast for this movie to just kind of be flat.
Apparently,
in
Dennis
so
Quaid
many
made a appearance. He's listed really low.
Dennis Quaid
apparently made an appearance.
He's like the lawyer of.
Oh, you're right. I forgot. My bad.
Our business partner.
Sorry.
Salma Hayek makes an appearance. She's in it for all of 2 seconds, and I'm like, why did that happen? And that's not even like oh, she's just a rando. No, like Salma Hayek was like a 90s star. And she's just randomly in this movie for like literally 2 seconds. I had to look it up because I thought I was high on trafficked drugs.
Right.
I had to look it up. And yeah, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was just so mid. Like, I don't really know what else to say. I also, like, it tried to do this really, like, artsy thing where, like, when you were in the perspective of the people using drugs, it was shot blue tone. And when you were in the perspective of people, like, whatever, partaking in the trafficking, trying to stop it, it was in this, like, yellow tone. And it was just, I don't know, like, it was trying to,
I thought it was just yellow for Mexico, blue for America.
Oh, I thought it was, oh, you might be right.
Because Michael Douglas, when he first shows up and he's in court or whatever and like
Is he
doing his thing, he's
blue?
blue. Yeah.
Okay, then sorry. Then yeah, the United States is blue and Mexico. It just I don't know. I was just like, why are we doing this? I don't really get it. It just felt like there were choices made that I was like,
Yeah.
I just don't understand why we did this. And it doesn't feel like there was a point to anything. And it was like supposed to be arguably, I'm sure, like this hard hitting subject.
Well, yeah.
And I like I didn't feel strongly about anything.
Yeah. Basically, like the whole thing is like trying to take like there's a solid message here.
Yeah.
But the overall posturing of it is really, really terrible to ultimately just like go like nothing changes. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to be like drugs are an inevitability. Let's figure out ways of like ensuring that if they're going to be a part of society, we're figuring out like the safest way for them to be a part of
Yeah.
it. And like, because no matter how you try to look at stuff, like when you try to like full on just like block something out that's already like mixed in, like it never goes well. Right? Like
Yeah.
you can try and like bark all day long that you're doing it for somebody's safety and it just does not fucking matter. So it's like the best thing you can do is like, okay, let's just make sure we figure out a way of distributing it safely or
Right.
like whatever, right? Like you got to
Right.
find a way to ultimately just be like nothing changes, womp womp. Like it's like you wasted 2 hours for that. We already know. Like,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah, I'm really curious, like which we did like some Googling about like box office because we were really confused on the 5 movies that were chosen. And was Traffic in the top 100?
No, it wasn't in the top 200.
Okay, so that says a lot because I'm like, maybe this was supposed to be a hard hitter, like early 2000s.
Like we're talking
war
movies.
on drugs.
We're
Like,
talking about movies that did like, but I don't know because this says. It says it did 207.5 million in box office.
Been released with like it felt like this was supposed to be released with a purpose and was supposed to be making a statement. And like maybe back then it felt like more of a statement.
Oh, it came out December 27th. That's why it didn't show up in the top 200.
But maybe it felt like it made more of a statement then than it does now.
But here's the other
thing. But
it's
just like, I don't know.
That really bothers me as we talk about like movies. Like none of these movies were like top for 2000. But then you dig deeper and you realize that Chocolat and Traffic at the very least now released in December of 2000.
Which
so of
means,
course,
like, what were they working with? Nothing.
Shut up
for a whole year.
Hang on, just hang on a second.
Never.
That explains why they didn't make a ton of money for the year 2000.
Sure.
But then you peel back the layer one more and realize that Tom fucking Hanks in Castaway was like in the top 10 for box office for 2000. And that movie came out December 22nd.
Wait, can you tell the people what the top box office movie was?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Hell yeah.
Which is again why we're saying like box office isn't necessarily going to like be indicative of like a movie that should be nominated.
No, but this it does
movie
say a lot.
Doesn't like it's not art housey enough.
No.
It's not. It's so
mid.
It's just so whatever at the end of the day.
It is.
For such an amazing cast.
But I know you don't rank movies, but you want to know what I ranked?
What do you mean?
What I ranked Traffic?
Like, what do you mean?
I'll just 5 stars.
Oh, sure.
I ranked it 1.5.
Wow.
It has a 3.7 on Letterboxd.
Quote, I want to have sex and then do a hit while we're both coming. That was said during the movie. I had to write it down because it's the funniest quote I think we've heard yet.
That was...
Also, at one point, there's a smash cut with Benicio del Toro when he's talking to 2 feds and like they're trying to figure out like a good place to talk. And then it does a smash cut to all 3 of them just waiting in a pool. And that was fucking hilarious.
That was very funny. Yeah. He was like my favorite person of the whole film.
Yeah, of course. Anyway.
Then we watched Erin Brockovich, which I do think, I couldn't tell you when I watched it. I do think this was my second time seeing the movie.
We did watch it.
Okay, we did?
Yep.
Okay. I can't remember, sorry. So obviously if anyone doesn't know, I'd be shocked, but in case anyone doesn't know, a twice divorced mother of 3 who sees an injustice takes on the bad guy and wins with a little help from her push-up bra. What a weird fucking synopsis of a movie.
Weird. Very weird.
That. I actually hate that so much. So basically she goes to work for an attorney, has no law degree, no experience, and basically takes on this like huge fucking case and like for this really small town. And it does say based off a true story. I have never Googled how much of a true story it like holds to or whatever. But yeah, in case no one's heard of Erin
Finding
Brockovich.
out that Steven Soderbergh, the person who directed Traffic, also directed Erin Brockovich.
Whoa, that's weird.
Very weird.
That's
Anyway,
so weird.
yeah, it's a really good, like, heartwarming,
Yes.
right? Like,
Yeah.
movie. It moves well. It
To me, this movie has like the best pacing, I think, of the whole,
um
or like held up
yeah,
pacing.
probably. Um
I
I
would
can't,
also just as a whole, like this was my like next to Gladiator, like best held up movie.
yeah, between this and Gladiator, these are
Yeah.
the only two where I feel like these are two movies that any year wouldn't be surprising to see them nominated.
Yeah.
I just don't know how I feel about either one of them necessarily being the
No,
winner.
me neither.
But yeah, I mean the movie, like, it's good, right? Like, it's it's just like a feel good, like, story of like
Yeah.
an underdog, like, kind of beating the system, that,
Yeah.
like, not playing by the rules, and like winning for the small person.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a really, like, feel good, I think, story for the most part. Given that there's like a ton of, you know, like, um, uh, just like negativity, like, around
Oh,
this woman. Like,
yeah,
she's
right.
been divorced a couple of times. She's a single mother of
Like in
three. Like,
theory, she's like very low on the
yeah,
peg of
like,
society,
right. And
and
anybody
she
would look at her
basically
and
says,
be
"Screw
like,
you."
she's kind of worthless,
Yeah.
whatever. Who
Yeah.
cares? Like, she's just gonna suck off of the government's teat.
Right.
And she, like, puts her head down, does the hard work, and does it for other people who are often overlooked. And like,
Yeah.
it just all feels good.
Right.
Also, I don't know if I would ever, like, I don't know if I would say that I am, like, of the mindset that Julia Roberts is hot,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I think she's
Okay.
a very attractive woman. But
Mm-hmm.
like, what is it in The Office when they're trying to, like, debate over,
I
like,
forget
whether,
who
like,
the actress
one woman's
is.
hot or
Yeah.
another woman? Julia Roberts kind of, like, toes this line for me, but something about her in this movie,
Hot.
I don't know if it's because they're constantly dressing her in, like, the
Right.
most scandalous, like,
She's literally wearing the most push-up bra I've
yeah,
ever
and the
seen.
bra's always, like,
Yeah.
just coming out underneath the
Yeah.
blouse so you can see it or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know, but woof woof awooga, you know?
Yeah, it is definitely like very much a feel good movie. I don't know what else to say about that because I just like it's just an enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
I love like so many of Julia Roberts' lines, like they're just fucking funny. And the attorney Ed Masry, or played by Albert Finney, is just like he's a great character. Like you can't like you do like everyone, even
Mm-hmm.
though it really is a story of like a really fucked up thing happening.
You know what I think I just realized?
What?
You know what I think I just realized?
What'd you just realize? Also, I freaking love the oh my god, motorcycle rider, Aaron Eckhart.
Yes.
So good. Like
Mhm.
I like immediately upon like seeing their first interaction in the movie was like, I forgot how much I love you in this movie. Like I just think you're like, again, like everyone just like is there to make you feel good, even though a really fucked up thing is happening.
Albert Finney
Yeah.
is Sir from The Dresser.
Oh, wow. Wow. I would not have seen that ever. Good catch.
Anyway, I realized all of a sudden that the name was sticking out to me.
Yeah.
That's him 17 years on.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah,
and it's definitely been the basis of like a lot of other like I'll say probably feminist films and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a big deal to like that it was made. And I mean, especially if it was based off a true story, that's crazy. Again, I've never Googled the true story, but yeah, a big thing for film, that movie,
Yeah.
I would say.
Also, it's like one of those things where it's like the time period of like these movies that we watch are very indicative of like why events are able to happen.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, could this happen today? Maybe, but like, I don't know why. I just feel like It's like Tender Mercies all over again when those 4 randos are just like,
Yeah.
we record after work once a week.
Yeah.
We're going to be country stars. And the
Right.
guy's like, yeah, you will. And then that's it. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow, cool. Like that could never fucking happen, but it
Right.
probably could happen in the 70s.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's also like something like fantastical about like
I would agree.
these types of
Because I'm trying to
movies.
remember, I'm blanking on what it's. Is it just called Joy? The one that is
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that supposed to be based in like the 90s as
I have
well?
no idea. Never seen it.
I feel like it is like an older
Don't care. Plus ratio.
time. Regardless. Yeah. I don't know, just like a good movie. Like I do just think like most people should watch this movie. It's just a good movie.
Yeah.
If most people haven't already seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then last movie, Chocolat, which wow. I can't believe I went into this movie with lower expectations than Traffic, which was really fucked up of me.
Can I call a quick timeout?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Shelby does this thing that's really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to take a moment to speak to the audience and say that when we do this type of thing, you should be trying to go into every movie with as much of a like open mind / blank slate as possible. Shelby whined and bitched about having to watch Chocolat for like hours, if not days, before we were going to watch it.
It just looks ridiculous.
Kept saying over and over again how excited she was to watch the movie. And that's fair. Like, fine. Just keep it to yourself.
I understand.
Just shut up.
I should be going into this with an open mind. But if we want to stay here, if that movie poster's hanging up on the wall, I'm not going to see that movie.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It
Branding matters.
It doesn't matter. It got nominated. So there's got to be something about it.
I just think
you got to go
allowed
open-minded.
to make a judge call on the poster they post.
Oh, so you do think you should judge a book by its cover?
That's why you brand it well. Or if you don't, that's why you suck.
Anyway, I feel like that's the whole fun of this.
Yeah,
is that you're going to watch movies that you wouldn't.
I'm happy to be proven wrong.
You can't have such a shitty attitude.
Chocolat
At the very least, you can't vocalize it around me.
Better than my expectations.
This movie was worse than my expectations.
Well, you
this
expected
movie
too much.
fucking should not have been nominated for Best
It should
Picture
not
in
have been
any given year.
nominated for Best Picture.
I'm just gonna come out and say it right away. This felt like a Hallmark movie
I
to
was
me.
about to say that.
It was dog water.
Yeah.
It was so bad in so many different ways, and I think
okay, but I would take this over most Hallmark movies.
maybe to me this is every Hallmark movie. So this is as good as it gets, I guess.
Yeah.
Not the movie, not
Yeah.
the Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Nominated.
It was such a Hallmark movie. It's also like what
And
I
I get it.
picture
It's like
is
a
in the
romance.
inside of every weird 90s romance novel.
I get that it's a romance
Yeah.
like movie, or it's supposed
But
to
is
be.
it?
Because like
I
there's
don't think it
there's
is.
nothing steamy about this movie
No,
that
and
like gets you like hot
I
and bothered.
really don't
you know?
consider it romance. I don't know
No.
what I would consider it, but romance is like kind of a stretch in my opinion.
It's not good. It's not good.
Very whatever.
Alfred Molina, Johnny Depp could not save this movie.
Johnny Depp just being a moody guitar playing guy on a
River rat.
riverboat is so funny to me. It's actually really funny.
It's it's like I honestly don't have anything good to say about the movie.
I just have I don't really have anything good or bad. Like
They
it's
don't
so
even-
mid to me.
They don't even like sexify the chocolate in any way. There's no like watching her make chocolate. Like
Yeah.
there's no like 20 straight minutes
Yeah.
of just watching like hot melting chocolate,
No.
then watching it like slowly be laid out and then
No.
broken into like the pieces to then build
and
something.
no one like reaches behind and like helps you guide your
Right,
hand.
like Ghost. Yeah. I don't know. Like there's
Also,
just nothing like
within
that.
the,
Like
within the first 10 minutes of the movie, so like she's a chocolatier who like is taking inspiration / practice from like ancient Mayan or other native people's like cacao ceremonies. Which I was like, oh great, it's a movie where a white woman is just doing cacao ceremonies.
appropriation.
Like cool. They then were like, well, she's like a daughter of a woman who practiced that. And I was like, okay, she probably could have been less white then. Like you probably could have cast a less white person because it just like the appearance of it. I was like, bold. Not bold for 2000 probably.
Why do you hate white people?
But I I just was like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening right now? They do explain it then, like halfway through the movie, but I was like, what is going on here? Why are
Yeah.
we doing this? So yeah, that was an interesting choice in my opinion to go with that. But it's like it's endearing in the way a Hallmark movie is. Like it's supposed to make you feel good in the end, but like it
Yeah.
achieves nothing.
It's
Like
just
you
like,
are achieving nothing by watching this movie.
I can't believe something like this was not like
I also cannot
this is
believe.
for me, this is the worst movie.
Oh, I hated Traffic too much.
This is the worst movie we've watched. This is the
Really?
worst Academy Award nominated movie we have watched.
I think I feel that way about Traffic.
I'm
not saying-
Traffic might be second
I'm not
worst.
saying Chocolat's a lot better. I just
Tender-
really hated Traffic.
Like I hated Tender Mercies.
Oh,
so
yeah, I did.
so Chocolat's worse than Tender Mercies for me.
Yeah.
Then it's Tender Mercies, then maybe Traffic.
Ooh,
like
I don't
it's
know. I don't
it's
know.
bad, dude.
It is bad.
Okay.
Would not recommend.
Let's get into our rankings. I think we already know our 5 and 4. I think they're just flipped.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your top movie? What was the movie that you would have given Best Picture to?
Ugh.
Or which one was your favorite?
This
and
is
which
so
one would
hard.
you give it Best
I
Picture?
do
Because
think
sometimes
Erin Brockovich was Grogu. No, stop. I do think Erin Brockovich was my favorite,
Okay.
but just between the two, I think I have to keep Gladiator as Best Picture.
Like you
Just-
get it.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it. I do get it.
And then for me, honestly, both those movies are really tied.
They're all really close.
Like for me, they're tied.
For
and
me, both are right at a 4-star.
and I stick with what you're saying, where it's
Yeah.
like Gladiator probably just gets the edge
Yeah.
from an entertainment value, maybe.
Yeah.
I think for a biopic to win, based on a true story to win Best Picture, like that's a really tough task.
Mm-hmm.
So for it to be very clearly the second, we think back to like Norma Ray. I think that was like our clear number 2 for
Yeah.
1979, if I remember correctly. But it's like it's a really tough task to get over that hump and like actually do something so special that it's like the best movie of the year.
Yeah. So yeah, I technically would have to say Gladiator should stay. So then I guess I'd have to put Erin.
Well,
Brockovich
but
at
you're saying,
second.
but Erin Brockovich was your favorite.
It was my
That's
favorite.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think we did that with another
Okay. I couldn't
with another year.
remember.
Maybe it was 2010, where 2010 we were like Inception rocks, but
Yeah.
what won?
King's Speech.
And we were like, but we get it.
We
Like
get
King's
it.
Speech makes sense
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
But I think I would go Gladiator, then Erin Brockovich. Very tight though.
Yeah.
Then Crouching Tiger.
Yeah.
Then Traffic, which you would say Chocolat, and then Chocolat,
Yeah.
which you'd say Traffic.
Yeah.
Um.
But like again, like I want to be clear, it's like Erin Brockovich and Gladiator are up here.
Yeah.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon's like right behind
It's like
them.
a step down.
And then
Then it's a
you
fall off of a
dig-
ladder.
Yeah, you dig deep, and there are the other two.
Yeah. Except for me, you fall off a ladder. There's traffic to catch you.
Yeah.
Oops, they dropped you because it sucked.
Yeah.
And
Fall down another ladder.
you fall all the way to hell.
Oh wow.
Uh,
I cannot
where
believe
there's
you
a
hated this movie
chocolatier
so much.
barely making any chocolate. Not good, dude. Not
Yeah,
good.
I was kind of yeah. I guess I actually was now thinking back at it, like laughing at things that probably weren't supposed to be funny. Like it's not a good movie.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about some of the other awards, shall we?
Yeah.
So we obviously went over Best Picture. Best Director, the nominees were Steven Soderbergh for Traffic, which won. Then there was Stephen Daldry for Billy Elliot. Which,
I'm actually pissed off he didn't get it for Erin Brockovich.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Then there was Stephen Daldry for Billy Elliot. We obviously didn't watch. Ang Lee for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Steven Soderbergh for Erin Brockovich. And Ridley Scott for Gladiator. So the dude had a 2 in 5 chance of winning. He did win, but I would
Not
agree
for the right one.
for the wrong movie.
Boo.
And honestly, if I'm going for best direction, I'd probably give it to Gladiator. I'd probably give it to Ridley Scott and say like that had the best direction. Certainly better than Traffic.
Oh, certainly better than Traffic. Oh my god, yeah.
I don't know.
I can't sit here and strongly like argue between Erin Brockovich and Gladiator.
Then I think this is very telling. Best actor. Winner was Russell Crowe for Gladiator. The other nominees are Javier Bardem in Before Night Falls, Tom Hanks in Castaway, which I think I'm the most pissed off about, Ed Harris in Pollock as Jackson Pollock, and then Jeffrey Rush, Which, fun fact, I think Javier Bardem, what was he? Was he in a movie that we've watched for this yet?
I thought you said his name for
He's in No Country
something.
for Old Men. He's the
Yeah,
psycho. But
yeah.
has he been in something? I don't think he
I
has.
don't know if he has.
Okay. And Ed Harris probably hasn't made an appearance yet. And I don't
No.
think Tom Hanks was in Toy Story 3. And then Jeffrey Rush is King's Speech.
Yeah.
He's not Colin Firth,
Right.
the speech doctor.
Speech
Yeah,
therapist or
speech
whatever.
therapist. So we only
Speech
watched one of
doctor.
these, which was
yeah.
Gladiator. So we can't even talk about,
That's
like, we can't even
crazy.
split hairs here. All right. Then we have Best Actress. You have Julia Roberts for Erin Brockovich. She won.
Okay.
Then you have Joan Allen in The Contender. Juliette Binoche in Chocolat. Ellen Burstyn in Requiem for a Dream. And Laura Linney in You Can Count on Me.
Okay, wait.
We've only watched...
Wait, Requiem for a Dream came out and that didn't get nominated over Traffic? I'm actually mad. Like, if we want to talk about what could have been an art house drug film, let that be it.
Yeah.
Why the fuck was Traffic nominated
I don't know.
and that wasn't?
I don't know.
Which, I mean, I'm going to immediately be like, because the cast of Traffic. That's why.
Yeah, maybe.
That's crazy. I did not realize that came out that year.
So obviously we can only,
Yeah.
But Julia Roberts was amazing.
Yeah, I was just like, that's very deserving.
Okay, then for Best Supporting Actor, you have Benicio del Toro in Traffic. He won. You got Jeff Bridges in The Contender. You've got Willem Dafoe in Shadow of the Vampire. You've got Albert Finney and Erin Brockovich, and you have Joaquin Phoenix and Gladiator.
Those are hard.
I do like all three of those.
Yeah.
Benicio del Toro winning, I don't know if I would agree with that over Albert Finney or Joaquin.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have given it to Joaquin. I thought he was so great in Gladiator. But good to see Albert Finney on there.
Yeah.
And then Best Supporting Actress, Marcia Gay Harden in Pollock, Judi Dench in Chocolat. Marcia Gay Harden in Pollock won Best Supporting Actress.
Oh, wow.
Judi Dench in Chocolat was nominated. Kate Hudson in Almost Famous, Frances McDormand in Almost Famous, and Julie Walters in Billy Elliot. So, did Judi Dench really do an amazing job in Chocolat, or is she simply there because she's Judi fucking Dench?
Right.
Just overall, just like not great.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a Jackson Pollock movie, which is funny, but
yeah. Ed Harris, the Man in Black, plays. So anyway, that is the year 2000. Shelby, if you had to vote, if you had to do, I almost wish we were ranking years, but I know it would get out of hand.
It would get out of hand real fast.
2010.
Yeah.
Versus the year 2000.
Oh my God.
What wins?
2010 blows the 2000 out of the fucking water.
Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb right there.
I mean, it's just like, that's actually an unfair comparison. Like, 2000 was such a mid-year. And I'm realizing more and more, like, yeah, okay, as a whole, it does feel like there were just mid options. But, like, I'm confused about the movies that were nominated over now learning more movies that came out that year.
Yeah. Have you seen Castaway?
No, I've never seen Castaway.
Like, well,
which
we
now
never
we know
will.
we
never will.
I was about to say, now we know we can. But I'm like actually infuriated more over just knowing the movies that were chosen versus other movies that came out that year. Like alone, Castaway and Requiem for a Dream should have been up there versus at least Traffic and Chocolat. At least.
I don't know if I've seen Requiem for a Dream, so I don't know if I can speak confidently about that. But you're really confident, so I think that means nothing.
Saw it years ago in college, and I just feel, I know I had a much stronger reaction to that movie than Traffic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that to me is already enough of like, all the things we complained about with Traffic, I feel like at least Requiem for a Dream tried.
Yeah.
And so it's like, at least they did something. And like, that is at this point to me what enrages me about Traffic. I feel like they did nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is actually enraging me more than just like, which is probably going to be the case for many years where we're like, wow, like this was kind of a mid selection. And then it's like you should almost just get angry about the movies that were nominated. Not that there were, of course, no movies made that year.
Yeah.
Like, of course, that's never probably going to be the answer. Um, but yeah, would you have any strong feelings 2010 versus the year 2000?
Dude, again, Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb.
Yeah,
Like,
not even a fair comparison.
literally, I know that there were 10 nominees in 2010. So obviously, like, you have a wider field. But, like, even if you try to just say, like, even if you try to just say the five worst
Yeah,
from 2010, I
yeah.
think they might be better than the five that went out for 2000.
I remember I was really caught up on 127 hours from the year 2010, and that was better than pretty much every like easily. I wouldn't put those above Gladiator.
Right, but like the
I mean,
fight,
it
like
beats
the
it. It
fighter
beats them.
is the fighter better than a majority of.
Yes.
Hang on, let me find what my actual like. I know our things weren't the exact
Ooh,
same.
smash it.
Was Winter's Bone? Winter's Bone was pretty
Winter's
bad.
Bone was pretty bad.
The Kids Are All Right was also not
Very
great.
mid.
The fighter though was like the top of the bad in my opinion from that year. And it's like I think the fighter is better than 3 of those 5 films.
Yeah, I would agree.
Maybe it's close between Crouching Tiger. And
Yeah,
then 127 Hours is
definitely
potentially
better.
better than all of them.
Yeah.
Potentially. Black Swan, potentially.
Oh, for
Like
me, way better.
Toy Story 3,
Better.
probably better than all 5.
I think better than all 5 as this movie. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's just not even a fair comparison. So,
all right. So now Shelby and I, we do a random number generator in case you don't know between the year 1975 and 2022 as of right now. We haven't mixed 2023 in just yet to basically see what the next year is going to be. And the next year is going to be, drum roll please. Drum
sorry.
roll please.
I was looking for
Drum roll, not laugh.
how do you
That's terrible.
I didn't know what to do. I panicked.
2015. So the nominees first, the winner of 2015 was Spotlight.
I'm so pumped.
Then you have The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Room. Oh, and that's it. There's eight nominees.
Room. Have you seen Room?
I have not.
I think the only movie I haven't seen in there is The Revenant.
And if I remember correctly, that's the one that Leonardo DiCaprio finally won
I thought
Best Actor.
there were a lot of really mixed opinions on that. On that being the one that he
This is a
blew up
solid
for.
this is a solid year. I've seen Spotlight. I'm excited to watch The Big Short again.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Bridge of Spies. I can't remember if I've seen Brooklyn. Mad Max Fury Road, I remember rips.
As soon as we watch Mad Max Fury Road, we're gonna watch the new one.
Furiosa, yeah. Hell yeah.
Where Chris Hemsworth has the most ridiculous nose prosthetic I've ever seen.
The Martian, I think I fell asleep, but that was a tough time for me. And then I don't think I've seen The Revenant or Room, so I'm about 50% on this year. I'm really excited though,
I'm
because
gonna
these are
school
all
you on these.
movies I'm really excited to watch.
Yeah.
And it's only 8, so not a super daunting task, even though it's part of that new era. In case you didn't know, 2009 is the first year where the Academy expanded the nominee selections from the typical 5 to
It could hit 10.
right anywhere from 7, I think, at least.
Yeah.
Or 8 might be the least.
I think 7.
It is 8.
Oh fuck.
So
yeah,
8 to 10.
that's gonna be a great year. I can't wait for you to go. Which year was better, 2015 or 2000? Let's see.
No.
It's the last one we talked
The
about.
fight is the champion.
Ooh.
So 2010 is the reigning champ.
2015 versus 2010
Like we're trying to figure out what year
is the
remains
best.
the best.
Yeah.
So 2010 is the current leader. And that's why I was like maybe having
Ooh.
like I should have kept like I can go back and I can say like what defeated what
Yeah.
to try and help us remember a little bit.
Ooh, what's gonna win?
That might not
2015
be
or
a bad
2010?
idea actually. I'll put that on another tab.
Okay.
But we won't actually do a full ranking.
Yeah,
all
that
we'll
would
be
be
able
annoying.
to do, right? All we'll be able to do is say like we can go back and see like
We've
what defeated
watched these
2000.
years,
Oh,
yeah.
2010. You know, and that's it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, if you want to watch along with us, I will try to remember to post a graphic that has the movies on it. You can find that at SMSoup Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. You can follow both of us on our independent socials, which are always in the description. And you can listen to SM Soup Podcast. I mean, I know you already found it once, but like if you want to find it somewhere else, it should be on most streaming platforms and it's on YouTube. And until we have now 2 months while we do to watch all these movies. So it is currently the last Monday of August.
We will talk about this at the end of October.
Correct. It'll be spoopy season. So we will see you then, but we'll have lots of fun until our next movie club. I don't know what we're doing, so I can't actually tell you what we're doing. All right, bye.